There's a lot of fucked up things that exist on the internet. It's been a while since I've watched any gore, and going into this one made me feel a little bit queasy afterwards. Today, we're going to talk about a video that I actually really struggled to find, mostly because every time I tried to search it, it just gave me some really innocent results. That is, until I stumbled upon it the other week on GoreDB. This video would be Mrs. Pacman. The reason behind it being named Mrs. Pacman needs no explanation, as you'll soon find out. And as usual guys, the warning: this video will contain graphic descriptions of gore. Enjoy the video. The video, Mrs. Pacman, goes a little bit like this. The video is a minute and a half long from what I could find. The camera shows a man or a woman with a torch. There's screaming in the background, as well as some female moaning. The torch swipes over a hand, not attached to the person that it once used to belong to. We're then shown the aftermath of an apparent gruesome machete attack. Lying on the ground, trying to scream but only letting out loud moans. Her face is split in half. Her eyes and the bridge of her nose separated from her nose and mouth. She's fully aware of what's happening to her. Her eyes are moving, but the rest of her body is still for a little while. She suddenly moves her head, and the top half of her head basically flaps open. To put it into a comparison, it's much like that of a yogurt pot when you open the lid 3/4 of the way there. The camera pans over and her other hand is also missing, meaning that she can't even get up off of the ground. The moaning gets more and more desperate, and after the minute and a half mark, the video ends. So, is there backstory to this video? Well, yes, there is. This woman was attacked by her own husband, who seemingly chopped both of her hands off and split her face into two halves. Now, the video that we've just talked about here is basically people who came across her, and the screaming that you hear in the background could be people talking to the police. It was unclear to me at first where this video actually took place. Many people on Reddit and other social media sites were saying that it was South American, maybe somewhere like Brazil, Colombia, or even Venezuela. It turns out that this video is actually from Guatemala. The name of the woman is Alejandra Eco Chub. She was 32 years old, and most of the articles that I've found on this were all in Spanish. Therefore, I only have a very rough explanation of what happened to her and who she was. Now, Alejandra unfortunately died from her injuries, which isn't very shocking given the extent of the injuries. She had 3 kids, all boys, who were left over to her sister, Maria Eco Chub, after she died. She was killed on the night of October the 29th, 2018 by her husband, Mario Tut Ikal, with a machete. Now, Mario was either intoxicated or drugged up, or possibly both. Before killing Alejandra, Mario was apparently causing nuisance within the community itself, as people already knew that he abused his wife. They'd already caught him once before, trying to hit Alejandra with a machete. However, he was stopped from doing so. Alejandra's cries were heard by her neighbours in La Isla del Norte in San Miguel, Guatemala, who I can only presume were the ones recording this video that we're currently talking about. Her husband fled the scene before this. The police and the fire brigade were all called. However, Alejandra succumbed to her injuries, as both the police and the fire department were 45 minutes away from where she lived, in Chisec. Guatemalan papers called this act an act of femicide, which is basically a crime against women or girls, just for the fact that they are female. The video itself was spread carelessly through social media, used as a video to shock and scare others, and it was covered horrifically on Guatemalan TV, with one channel even referencing a biblical quote towards the crime, which roughly translates from Spanish as, "Who easily, if he gets angry, he will do crazy things," or in Spanish, which may make sense to some viewers, "Quien fácil se enoja hará locuras." A lot of people online also claim that she cheated on her husband, causing him to go into a rage. However, this doesn't give a man the right to brutally murder a woman. Apparently, in Guatemala, an average of 62 women are murdered every month, with the main reason being that of misogynistic acts. To finish off this video, apparently there have been 3 hearings with Mario in court, in which there seems to be no sentence next to his name, nor have I managed to actually find one. One of his former victims, who was actually one of his ex-wives, also received a machete wound to the head and survived. However, the complaint against Mario was removed, and Mario got off from this one scot-free. So with that is the Mrs. Pacman video. It's a shame that I can't end this video on a somewhat good note, and with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.